Hey everybody, we'll be starting here in just a second. I was grabbing myself some coffee to get this show on the road. Just got done with a phone call. I hope everyone's doing good today. I have a bunch of stuff to go over on EFP Live. So what do you say we kick this show off? Hoping the audio works today. We had some problems with things the other day. So I'm fixing some stuff. For those who don't know, I had a OneDrive issue on Sunday, and I'm still getting files back in place. So if you see me dicking around with stuff in the background during the show, it's because I'm trying to fix files that are still missing. But I think we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm going to turn off that one because that one's too bright. So anyway, EFP Live, this is February 26th. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things today. We're going to be going over the following. Invincible, the RPG, is coming out from Free League. Western Marches, which is Arcane Library's new Kickstarter coming up, which I'm super excited about. Crown and Skull Volume 2 is in print, along with some questions and answers on why you should play Crown and Skull that I found interesting during my week here. We're going to also talk about a new mount that I want to make, and I think I want to make it for Shadow Dark. It doesn't really fit ETHAUNTIA, but I feel like it could work in Breachers. And then, of course, we have some new merch to show off. It'll be coming out here this week. Allie, who's in chat, just finished it up, so I'll be showing that off on stream as well. Then the main topic today is how to be a better gamer. I feel like I talk about it a lot, and my slogan since I was doing podcasting even was that watch, listen, learn, be a better gamer. And I actually believe that. Like, too many gamers don't do any of those things, and they just me their way through tabletopping. So we're gonna go over some stuff during that. And I actually just had a conversation with somebody about about gaming and people showing up to the table and not reading the book or studying their character sheet. So that's going to be on the tail end of the show here. That'll be the recorded piece that we're doing today to put out as a separate video. Since next week is our off week, I will be doing a bunch of video editing to get all the videos out for the month of March. But yeah, we got a lot to go over today. So a lot of this, let's just get into it. I'm going to start us off with, I guess, the Invincible thing. I think that's probably going to be where I want to start. What's up, everybody? Who's all here right now? Hi, Serving Hands. Oh, we get Nick here. So our lower third's not showing? Hold on a minute. I just realized lower thirds wasn't showing. I was popping you guys up. All right, hold on here. These are all those things that are broken. These are all the things that are broken. Broken. Gotta love it, man. I lost like all of my text docs, which hold a bunch of the script. And because it holds a bunch of the script, shit's fucked. But now, there we go. Easy enough fix, everybody. Nick's here. What's up, buddy? Allie. Hi, Allie. Allie and I just got done talking. Serving. What's up? I think I saw Kyle. Hey, Kyle. What's going on? So, the Western Reaches. This is the... I got an email the other day that the Arcane Library was finally doing their next big Kickstarter. They're doing it in March. So March 11th, this is going to be the kickoff for it. Man, let me tell you what. I feel like Kelsey and I are sharing a wavelength Nick and I have talked a lot about game design and what we like books to be and how we like them to look and what we want out of them. And I feel like she's listened to everybody and listened to everything over the last couple of years, or it's just that we're about the same age and want the same thing. Because all design kind of comes cyclical, where things come back when you were a kid. Like, I grew up with box sets. I fucking adore box sets. And what box sets aren't really great because they don't hold up well, they get damaged easily. There's a lot of problems with a box set. There really, really is. And I don't want a box set that's just gonna break on me and turn into a problem and all that kind of shit. I just see we have dual music going. So I kind of wanted to find a way to make something different. And in Breachers, I wanted to put out a series of books based on districts. They were all going to be zines first because of cost, and then turn them into larger books. Well, Arcane Library, Kelsey and the gang are doing just that. So Western Reaches seems to be their campaign setting. I love the art on the cover of this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, it doesn't blow up well. Can I open this in... I'm going to copy the image address and see if we can just open the image address here. Just the art. So here we go. So we got 2 monsters, and then we have the party on the other side fighting. And then we have 3 more cursed scrolls. Right? Which is cool as shit. Classic, this color is the same as the original Shadow Dark books. A little more color on these covers, though. Kelsey and the Gang sounds like a band. I mean, a little bit. So, hold on here. Let me find our thing here. But they have this, the March 11th. Now, it says you can play as a painted witch, an armored knight, a silent monk, a scarred pit fighter, a quick-witted explorer, a seafaring warrior, and a sandbox setting. Nick, maybe you know this. I don't know. Is she just reprinting the classes she's already made in the other scrolls? Are they all getting entered into here? Is that what's going on? Because I feel like that's what's going on. Box sets does help TTRPG appeal on the retail shelf as well as the completed board games. So the problem is someone who worked in a bookstore, box sets suck because the damage on them is so high, and you could put 3 products in the place of a box set. So they actually don't sell well in bookstores. Now, in a tabletop shop, sure. But when back in the day, Borders and Barnes & Nobles were buying pallets of whatever it is you were making, that was more important than the books, the mom and pop shops, tabletop RPG shops selling your product. And the rate of destruction was so high. I think I got 3 copies of Dark Sun from my time at Walden Books because they were damaged. So I have a bunch with like damaged lids and shit. But I wanted to be able to have every player have the main book at the table, which will take us into a conversation later about players not buying stuff. But I'm wondering why she's reprinting them all. I mean, they're fine for in-game use too. I actually don't mind that either. So look, you got to remember, in a box set, traditionally in a box set, I just realized this is using the wrong... Man, everything is so fucked up now. Very annoyed, everybody. Originally, everything in a box set was a GM version, a player's book, so it was separate, so the GM got their own, the player got one, which I miss. I fucking miss that. Then, setting material, usually a world map, and the backside would have a city map or an adventure map, depending on where you were in the 1st to 2nd edition generation. Or a stack of maps. For example, Ravenloft had a whole bunch of maps in it, or Planescapes, which had extra books in it as well. So they're always divided out. So it's pretty cool that's, what you got. And you got the box set, and you set it down. And right now, if we look at a box set, that's a well-priced box set. So Dragonbane is a well-priced box set. It comes with tokens, a set of dice, and then it comes with the things I think we're missing from a lot of games. Character sheets, a good GM screen. It comes with, what else is in here? A solo adventure, so you can learn to solo, because solo RPGs are huge right now. I know I'm adding solo RPG stuff to my my books that I'm putting out. But in here, there is your 2 books. So there's the rules, right? And then there's the adventure, and they're almost always softback. It's the adventures, your GM screen, and I love that it's a low-profile GM screen instead of a tall boy. I don't like the tall ones. And then there are maps in here, and then there's a bunch of tokens for monsters. And I think that's huge. Like, I think this is one of the best, probably one of the best box sets to come out in a while. You also get a real simple, heavy cardstock, double-sided dungeon mat, right? Which is great, because if you're just starting, you're not going to have that. But for me, I got the PDF version of that, and I just added it to all my VTT stuff. You get your big world map. That's a big fold-out one. And then a bunch of regular character sheets, and then a bunch of pre-made character sheets as well with art on them. So you could literally sit down, have all the tokens for everything that you need, and have this box set and play, and actually play a game. Right? So I thought it was pretty fucking cool that this box set came out. And it came with dice, some generic like green dice with extra D20s and so on. So if you're looking for box sets do come with stuff if they're done right. This is a good one. The Pathfinder one was really good. I think the Pathfinder one is probably one of the best starter boxes to ever come out. So that's what a box set comes with. But again, that shit sitting on a shelf at a bookstore gets damaged, or in shipping it gets damaged. It's a little easier when it's Amazon shipping them nowadays because of how they store stuff. So with that out of the way, the reason I'm talking about this is she's decided to go with a cool collector's edition. Everybody, I'm going to copy this image address, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to open this thing up. I am so excited for this. I believe that these kind of sets that go on your shelf are awesome. The fact that it's going to have the Western Breaches, the Western Reaches Player's Book, Western Reaches GM's Guide, and then the City of Masks, Dwellers in the Deep, of the Deep, River of Night, Midnight Sun, Red Sands, and Diablerie. That is a box set, that like shelf style with this gold and bought. Dude, I am so excited for this. This looks so good. And there's something about the style of a box set where it's everything in this hardback and really nice. I'm wondering what the price point's going to be on this. I'm curious to see how much this is going to cost. Because her last Kickstarter all in with everything, I think was like 2 something. So I'm expecting this to probably be about $250. That's my guess. Because it's a slipcase. These look like they're canvas covered and gold embossed. But how awesome is that going to be? Obviously, this one looks like it's the City of Masks is the cover. I'm super excited for this. So, to me, having the books divided up, I actually think is better than one big fat book, especially when I'm running a game at a table. It's also why I'm a big fan of the A5 sizes. When I'm running at a table, you have so much shit at a GM sitting in front of you that the last thing I need is the book to be so big that I can't have my own fucking notes. Right? So this is going to be the new Kickstarter coming out March 11th for Arcane Library for Shadowdark. I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this. This is probably the thing I'm the most hyped about for Kickstarters right now. And I think most people who are Shadowdark fans have been tided over with the Curse Scrolls and having the little things come out, the third-party publishing. But now we're going to get to see the vision of what she says her settings are like. Doesn't mean we have to follow it in suit, but we get an idea of what her settings are. There's been no setting for Shadowdark. There's been hints, but there's never been a setting. So I'm pretty excited for that. What was that? I see Nick, some people put some comments in here. Let me go back. Box set's 1,000% collector's item. Yeah, I mean, the box doesn't come out, but the books do. My understanding is those are all new classes, but she hadn't finalized if she was gathering the rest. Should be saying something soon on that. Okay, cool. I just that there's already a pit fighter. You know what I mean? My only problem is they can destroy your note tabs. They can. I have some note tabs that doesn't happen with, though. I'll show you some stuff in a second here. There was rumors of a Venn diagram being made to explain it. To explain what, Nick? To explain the box set, or to explain why box sets are better, or what exactly were they? It is pretty, Allie. I 100% agree with you. My only issue is they can destroy your stuff. So I switched to using darts for my stuff. I simply switched to using these things. They come in a bunch of colors, and they just slip on. And the reason I do this, if I grab my Shadow Dart book as example, is it this one? Yeah. So you can see the darts up top. And I always know where things are roughly in a book, so as long as I'm switching to that dart, I have an idea of where I'm at. And they're non-destructive, they don't tear the pages. And like, I used to use tabs where things came out, I had writing on them, but all of my actual notes that I take now, I write page numbers down. Instead of writing on tabs, I just have page numbers. I had them for a long time on my links, but I think they took down my, let me look here. Yeah, I lost access to my paid affiliate stuff because I didn't sell enough of them. Because I didn't pimp them enough. I'll set it up again one day. Here, I'll get a link for you. They are book darts. I like the multicolored one. They're only like 16 bucks. Here you go. I had them in my review for doing books and show. Oh, wow, you can't. Hold on, that's too long of a link, apparently. Give me a second. Book darts. They really don't want you to share things. I swear to God. I'm looking here. Where are you at? Where are you at? I'll try copying the link and doing it again. Try that. Let me know if that works. I mean, it comes with 125 mixed colors. Because it's like bronze, copper, and steel, I think, is like the colors for them. Love it, though. Probably my favorite things I picked up in the last couple of years. Especially for RPG books, because it doesn't damage them and it keeps them flat. Like, the only one I had problems with, since we're talking about it right now, is in this one, for some reason the darts will slip on this paper. And this is the only one that I've really had problems with, is this one. And it'll try to stick over multiple pages sometimes, and I don't know how it happens. It's really weird. They also make ones that are a little longer tabs. Yeah, I've done that too. The flat paper clips are okay. These aren't expensive though. They're only like 16 bucks and there's 125 of them. I haven't even went through my first batch. You know what I'm saying? Like, super easy. I recommend them because they're non-damaging. That's why I use them. And they are thick enough that if you are sticking another piece of paper to it, so like let's say you're putting them in and putting a piece of paper under, it'll hold that as well. So when you have notes that go on, and I'm a big proprietor of sticky notes and stuff like that too, because my thing is your RPG books are yours. Who gives a fuck what you do to them? So anyway, super excited. Cannot wait for this Kickstarter. This is going to be on March 11th. Then that takes us to, I guess, we should probably talk about Invincible. This week, Free League announced that they're going to be doing Invincible, the superhero role-playing game. 16 plus, baby. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love superhero stuff. Invincible's fantastic. It's adult. I remember the comic before the animation ever came out. The animation is amazing. Animated series super good. So they're doing a superhero role-playing game. My understanding is it's the same guy who did their Walking Dead game. Yeah. And their Walking Dead game is really good. For those who don't know, the Walking Dead game is solid as shit. I actually really enjoy running it. That's going to be coming later this year. It looks like they got the illustrations from Corey Walker and the graphic designer from Mork Borg. So Johan's coming back to do the graphic design for this, which is going to be wild. Because there's no way they can do this in that chaotic, like really crazy Mork Borgian style. So I'm curious to see what Johan's other work looks like. Because I love his Mork Borg work. What's his really clean and polished artwork going to look like? Right? So this is going to be a pretty fun book. It looks like it's going to be an A5. They're keeping it in that style. I don't know if they're going to use Year Zero engine. If they're going to use their own engine for it, they haven't said yet. So I think it's probably going to be Year Zero. Let me see if I do this. Yeah, Year Zero. Kickstarter this year. It says designed by Adam Bradford, D&D Beyond founder, producer, titles Dungeons & Dragons, Cortex Prime, and Marvel. I liked the one Marvel a lot. And Thomas Hellstrom's going to be involved. Freely co-founder and lead designer, titles such as Alien RPG, Blade Runner, Mutant Year Zero, and Dragonbane. So I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I guess Year Zero engine right here. We're going to be using the Year Zero engine. He did Into the Odd. Oh, Into the Odd was also kind of crazy. Which I do love Into the Odd, by the way. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. I think it's going to be a really cool project. Free League has never really fucking done me wrong. So, and I need a good superhero game. I feel like, I don't know how many of you out there who are GMs run superhero games, but I always have a problem running them. I feel like the longevity of a superhero game is difficult. And I've ran Heroes, I've ran Icons, I've ran Masks, I've ran Mutants and Masterminds, almost every edition. And while I enjoy running them, the players building their story and like what's going to go on for it, just, I don't know, man. Like it just never turns out the way I expect it to. So, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like, if you guys had luck running superhero games? Because I think at most they last 6 sessions for me. I have an entire city called Volt City. It's like my version of Batman Beyond, but like an entire superhero setting. And all of the industries are named after, was it Greek mythology? I think it's Greek mythology, but basically the concept was Atlanta and everything in the southern sea borders got flooded, and they built this city up above, floating in the sky above the flood. But it's hard to run along one. No game I've run has ever turned out the way I expected to be fair. Sure, expected to, and just like it dies to me. Like superhero games always die. Like I feel like it never really makes it. Like that's my belief. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. And I'll turn it up on your end. How loud is the music for you guys? Is that pretty good there? I'm trying a different setup today. But superhero games just not my jam, man. I love superhero stuff, so I told myself that I'm going to run a good superhero campaign at some point in time. I just think it takes a certain group of people to play a game, and I think because Invincible has an animated series people can go watch instead of reading comics, that you might be able to get some people really into it. Because the problem with a superhero RPG to me is the story growth. How do you make players give a shit about not getting constant progression? Like, their powers aren't always going up. They aren't getting a new thing because most people are level-based players. And you really need a different set of players for superhero because it's not level-based. Powers grow. I think powers should grow through story unlocks. That's how I think superhero games should go. And I've always wanted to run a really good X-Men one, especially with the new X-Men that came out. That X-Men was so good, but I digress. I don't like 616. I just don't like it. I don't like what the company did. I don't like how they do. I just don't. You put their loved ones in Pearl. I mean, if they have any, not everyone's Peter Parker. It's Salad. Okay. I turned it down on mine. I'm not wearing headphones today, so I'm making sure you guys can't hear it through here. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just not what, it's not what I've not been good at. It's my weakest fucking thing to run. I can run a better fucking My Little Pony or romance story than superheroes. I just have a hard time getting the players engaged. I really do. So, anyway, Invincible, later this year. I am excited for it. I'm not going to lie. I love the show. I really hope this does well. Really hope this did well. What? Thanks for the music level. Awesome. Tell them to stop being edgelords and open up the... I mean, exactly. And put that in his... Like, so I don't even, like, put him in Pearl all the time. Like, I love what Monty Cook Games did with their story unlocks, and I really like what the original Marvel Heroes game that you couldn't make your own characters for, what they did. I feel like superhero games have to be done story mode because every hero story is their powers. Agree. That's exactly what I'm saying, Nick. I cannot agree more with you. I think every superhero game is story mode. It's all about who they are, how they grew up, how they got their powers, where they're going. You can't run a good superhero story without that. Like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's like, if you haven't seen the original Marvel, I think, let me see if I have it here. The original Marvel game has, not 616. Man, I used to have them all. I don't know if I do anymore. I might not have them since, I don't want 616. I'm looking for the other Marvel stuff. I used to have all of them. Doesn't look like I have them anymore. Might have to go through some old files somewhere. Everything I have right now is the multiverse one, and I think that's the new, that's the new role-playing game, which I don't particularly want. But I was going to show you how they did the other one. I don't remember what it's called. What's the old, hold on here. Not 616. This is the Cortex engine. Marvel Heroic. This game. This had a really cool XP style. Like really, really good XP style. And I thought it was fantastic. Let me see if I got it in G Drive. So basically, the Marvel Heroic role-playing game, you couldn't make your own character. Someone did a reverse engineer on how to do it. But you had 3 categories of experience. One was 1 XP, one was 3 XP, one was 5. And basically, when you completed those story arcs or you used it during a session, you would get XP. It's the only way you could get it. And then the adventures you would go do or the issues you would go to play would also have one of those XPs. And you could swap one of yours out for that session and make it, I'm going to really focus in on the adventure we're doing. Which, here's what it did. It put everyone together to do the thing you're there to do. Such a fucking smart way of doing this. But the game system itself was Cortex, which I was okay with Cortex. I didn't really have a problem with it. Yeah, here, I got it in my library here. Hold on. Let's see if we can open it up. Well, I don't know if this is the right one. This might be the new ones. Yeah, these are the new ones. I want the old ones. Maybe it's in this? No. Where's my Marvel library? Here, show me where this is. Show me! File information. Show file location. Here we go. Where's the original book in here? We'll do a quick look at it, just so I can kind of show you how it works. That's the Civil War. Standard power and traits, standard car. I might not have the... We'll just look at the Civil War. Maybe it'll have a character in here. Oh, you can't even open it. Damn. Does the hero cheat sheet have it? Yeah, here we go. So gaining, you may hit one XP milestone trigger as often as you like. You may hit the 3 XP milestone trigger per scene. You can hit the 10 milestone XP trigger once an act. Basically, a game you played was an act. And once you trigger it, you may choose a new milestone for the big one. Gain 1 XP when the watcher spends a D12 Doom die. And then you can spend, you can only spend XP during transition scenes. Spend 1 XP for a plot point to increase the minimum PP before the start of each session. You can spend 5 to switch affiliations to replace a distinct with a new. So like you could switch your group you're with. Maybe you went from X-Men to Avengers or something along those lines. And then you can spend 15 to step up to a D10 power trait. Because when you use your powers in this game, you would... if you've played Cortex before, you would get access to powers. And then with those access to powers, you could use extra dice to do things like hold people in place, light people on fire, that kind of thing. It's a really good game. What killed it is Marvel wouldn't let people make their own characters. Wouldn't do it. I only ever got 1 game in for a superhero game. Okay. Certain little buy-in. I agree. Goals. Maybe I'll bring this old Marvel Heroic instead of the 616 and run it. I bet a good solo RPG game could be done. Nick, that is a really good idea, buddy. I think a solo RPG game would be the way to go. And you know what? Free League might do that with Invincible. Or a co-op. I think a good co-op. A duo, like Batman and Robin style, but a good duo game. I think you could do something really cool. One of my favorite things was in Icons. Everyone made their characters, and then the person to your left made your villain for the big group that you're going to deal with. Super fun. There's just something about superhero games, though, man. I just couldn't get them to stick. It's just really hard for me. Not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's not probable. So anyway, let's talk about a game that I want to play. I was trying to find someone running it at GaryCon. I haven't had any luck yet. But that is Runehammer's Crown and Skull. Right, Allie? I agree. I think that would be really good. I think I can make a good duo game out of it. I don't think making solo rules is as hard as everyone tries to make it out to be. The thing with solo games is you got to learn to make it your own. Just like you do your normal games, but even more so. It's literally for you. You can't fuck around with any of this shit. You got to make it for you. So let's talk Crown and Skull. The second book planned, 5-part Crown and Skull RPG, is out for Runehammer with new rules for PCs, coverage of dragons, droids, and more. Supplements also available for Wrath and Glory, 500-year-old Vampire, Morkborg, and Dungeon Crawl Classics. Never Going Home, get 3 new supplements. I don't care about that. Print news covers recent RPGs, classes. This is the reprint for Volume 2. Is now out. You can purchase it. It's $50. I really want to get the first and second one. I love these cloth-bound ones. I actually like the cloth-bound ones more than I like the collector's editions. I love this art too. If you don't know about Crown and Skull, we're going to go into it a little bit here in the second piece. But these are new things that are out. So we got Volume 2 from Runehammer, Vow of Absolution. I have not played the new Warhammer yet from Cubicle 7. If any of you guys played this yet, or even looked at it. I'm a huge 40K fan. But I have not played the Cubicle 7 stuff yet. I played the Fantasy Flight game stuff. Vow of Absolution. Never Go Home for Dungeon Crawl Classics. That's kind of cool. I like this art. Never Going Home. What is this? A 7th Doom Quest of Denial. That's not it. We gotta go to the next one. Vile in the Streets from Beyond. Where's the Never Going Home? Is it this one? Do you really? I like his work. I was hoping to see descriptions for this. Is this it here? Yeah, here it is. Never Going Home review. Vile in the Streets, From Beyond the Veil, Spit in the Dirt by Wet Ink Games. Great name for a company. Wet Ink Games. That's really, I like that. $20 each, digest size covers, supplements. I don't know Weird and Wild either. Well, at least I haven't played it, I should say. Negotiation on the path between shifting borders and nations and murky alliances of their commander in Austria-Hungary, which sounds like a war. Plans and counterplans swirl around an official visit to, is it Sarvijo? Sarvijo includes grimoires, 12 antagonists, mundane and monstrous. The 6 connected adventures, PCs from beyond the veil. But the war has never been stranger and the world has never been this deadly. Includes 3 magic paths, corruption scars, deterioration deck. Okay, I don't know anything about this. This is not a very fun write-up to me, but I love this art. New Cthulhu stuff. Beguiling Whispers. That's kind of cool looking. By Central Michigan University Press. Okay. I bet you I might know some people here for this. Cool. Floating Shipwreck Debris. This is really good if you're playing Pirate Borg, everyone. Really good for Pirate Borg. Cool. Thanks, Charles. Thanks for the little update there, buddy. But what I wanted to go into next is this. New year, new campaign, Crown and Skull. I wanted to talk about new campaigns. This sparked something for me when I saw it. First off, I love this art. I know Nick has a long-going campaign right now. I know, Allie, you're running kind of an at-home game with a couple of people. I believe Bear is running a game for people. Obviously, the biggest argument is always scheduling's a bitch. It's so hard to fucking schedule people. How do you schedule people? My thing is I think it's really hard just to get in a fucking game, to get a game going for home games, even if it's digital. I haven't played, so COVID destroyed my home game. And that was fine. And before that, something else destroyed our home game, and I switched over to a new crew of people for a little while. But then we came back and we play online. I have had a home group up until COVID since 92. Okay? So I've had a home group without really any breaks. As soon as I moved from Michigan to Milwaukee, I immediately found a group when I was in college. It was the thing I did the second day I was there. And I took 2 years off before I went to college because I was working full-time and doing stuff. And I really wanted to continue playing games. But I haven't had a home group since COVID. Now, granted, I have my stream game. That's the closest thing I have to a home game. But it's not the same. If anyone thinks a stream game is what a home game is like, you're lying to yourself. I learned very quickly that a home game, I don't think streams that well. That there's a little bit more of a pacing difference. You really got to up the ante when you are going to run a stream game. Attention span's shorter. You're asking people to be in it for you. For me, we started streaming it mostly because I wanted to have a group again to play with. But I quickly realized I like having a recorded version of what we did. Because if we ever have questions, we can literally just go back through and look at the game. Even if I stop streaming, I'm at least going to record audio for my games with timestamps so that I can go through and have audio notes. I didn't realize how much I loved it until I was doing it. And I found that it helped me have a better memory of what was going on. And it helped people who don't like to take notes to be able to just clip through things. Like I know Todd, who's not the biggest note taker. He takes ones for his character, but he goes back through and clips through the show. And it makes such a difference in the knowledge of what's there. And I didn't realize I needed it until I was doing it. With that said, I don't have like a home group. Allie and I and a couple people tried doing Mythic Bastion lands, but scheduling was just getting too difficult to get people together for. I think we played twice or once maybe we played Mythic Bastion lands. It's weird, man. Getting a home group is weird. So I'm thinking about building a home game again and setting it for like 10 sessions with a buy-in to play again. Like we'll basically vote, do we want to do another 5 and do it in groups of 5? Because I do believe in putting expectations on it. The problem with a new home group to me is if you bring new people in, you may not want to play 10 sessions with them. You may find that it's just not the right fit. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work. Like they're not the people you want in your house. Online makes it a little different. I also don't think I want to run one at my home anymore. There are some local people that I would like to have play, but I would rather be able to pick and choose in such a finite way and just run online. I really would. But I would like to have a game for once. I would like a game I'm playing in. I haven't played an ongoing TTRPG since 04. Like an actual game. And that was at AGP Basement when I was learning more about the people who were there, where you had to earn your rights to GM. Like the GM that was there was the house GM and they GM the whole time and you didn't get the GM. You had to wait your turn until they decided you were good enough to GM. So I had to wade through, I think it was 2 major GMs and 1 minor GM. I had to beat my bosses before I could even run a game for people. And then when I started running games, nobody else ran anymore. Common problem. Once you GM, you're a lot of times the person to do it forever. And it gave the GMs a break, and I was happy about that. But they all wanted to play, like, the reason I started playing different games is they wanted to play Vampire. They wanted to play Shadowrun. They wanted to play Mech Warrior. So I just had to learn these systems quickly and start running them because I would run whatever the players wanted to play at AGP Basement. And then eventually we moved somewhere else, started playing. We got a really tight-knit group and played for years together, from D20 Modern to 3.0, 3.5, and so on. And now that group is kind of fallen apart and we don't play together anymore because life. But I haven't played in a game constant as a player since 04. So I think this year's goal, like I told myself, I want a game where I'm playing twice a month at least, set schedule, playing a game. And we have all these people for Dragon Sandbox. Like we have a meeting tomorrow. I have to go to a meeting for all the GMs running Dragon Sandbox. We kind of hang out, drink, have fun. But I need people on board to play games. And I was hoping someone there would run games. We're all GMs. We're all GMs. And we could rotate the people and play. But you know how organizing it is, man. We'll see. So, anyway, this reminded me, new year, new campaign, Crown and Skull. Large group of players mixed with mixed levels of RPG experience can be challenging to run. Or maybe you want less mechanics, but not rules light. Crown and Skull by Runehammer Games provides a solution some GMs may be seeking and is perfect RPG to kick off a new campaign, especially one with new players. This art's great. I'm not reluctant. I am a happy forever GM, Allie. But I do still want to play. Or sorry, not Allie, Serving Hands. I still want to play. I'm not reluctant. I chose to be the GM, but it doesn't mean I don't want to play once in a while. I love this art, though. So, some groups with different levels of experience may see half the players optimize building their characters and see in their mind's eye and play well with the rules, while others struggle with rolling D10s. A 0 is a 10, and it's 100 or is 100. And that's true, it happens. Modifiers and math, clearing out obstacles rules-wise, it's a great start. But the experienced players still need mechanics to work with in the campaign, because that's what they want. So the removal of obstacles. Player characters roll a d20 to hit target number or lower. Aim lower versus either skills. This has got a Dragonbane feel to it. Or second edition D&D where you're rolling under. I prefer roll under systems, by the way. I really, really do. Character sheet with number to beat or an opposed rolls an NPC in most cases. PCs rolling any other dice roll high. Usually damage rolls. No roll to hit is needed, just roll damage. If it falls below the enemy's defense, the attack misses. Otherwise, it does the remaining damage and subtract the defense. Enemies have hit points, players do not. In combat, if enemies attack player characters, sorry, I say player characters, attack PCs, player rolls a d20 versus defense, penalized by adding the enemy's attack to avoid the roll. So basically, you're doing a defense roll and an attack roll in this game. You're doing all in one. So that's kind of cool. Game in a nutshell is a d20 roll low, damage roll high. That's what you're looking at. I like the damage roll high. I also, after playing Mythic Bastion Lands, realized how much I love roll to hit and damage all in one. I fucking adore it. It is awesome to have that in a session. Right now I'm designing for Shadowdark and Dragonbane. Shadowdark is Breachers, and then Dragonbane is ETHAUNTIA, and I'm working on a Towervania one. You may have seen some of the videos where I'm using the Mythic Bastion Lands engine. And I'm curious to see how it turns out for solo play, because I think it'll make good solo play. But I love the roll, and I know MCDM for Draw Steel's doing roll to hit and damage all in one. So I'm interested to see. I did not know that Crown and Skull's like that. I had the PDFs, I don't have the books, but I didn't realize it was a roll all in one. That's pretty cool. So they did templates. So brand new players can pick a template, pick some equipment, and get ready to go. Avoiding a casting class would probably be a good idea for a new player. Yeah, I agree with that. It could be a problem. Any player can choose instead to build a character from scratch using points, the same points that were used to build the templates. Each character has the option of the core ability to buy that they are really good at, like Brutal Fighter, Veteran Commander, Wizard Savant, Animal Companions are also an option. That's very similar to Dragonbane. Your talent's what you're good at. It really is. It's showcased. We had our first big combat on Monday. I think that Monday was our biggest combat, I think, for ETHAUNTIA Wanted. And everyone got to really showcase their combat skills. And we had some sneaky ass shit happen during the Monday show. Like, Jinzo, first off, can we talk about sneaking in Dragonbane? Talking about ease of rules? Here's how it works. If you want to sneak, because we had to look it up during the show, because we haven't had any sneaky people yet. You go, all right, I'm gonna go here and hide. And I go, okay. Like, what do I roll? Nothing. What do you mean? You don't roll. You don't know if you're hidden. You don't know. What? Yeah. You don't roll that you're hidden until somebody is looking for you. You just don't do it. So he ran into the corner of the room, hid, waited, ran under the stairs, and I made an awareness roll versus him. I missed the awareness roll. I didn't see him. He grabbed somebody, pulled him down. I sliced through the floor. I ended up hitting him anyway, even though with the Banes, just through he was in the way. But like, yeah, that's how hiding works in Dragonbane. Genius. You're not having a player roll and then decide that it was shitty. Because that's the worst part in like 5e. And I also think it's bad GMing. Or I should say, you're taught poorly. First off, the GM shouldn't have to roll those things. I shouldn't have to roll all these secret rolls for you. I think it's easier that you roll them when it's necessary. And I've always used the passive stealth for like the last, I don't know, since 5e came out, where you take 10 plus your stealth and that's your passive stealth. And until you're within 30 or 60 foot of somebody, you never roll. You're just opposing passives. And then when you're making an action against somebody or doing something to be loud, then there'd be opposed rolls if opposed rolls were needed. But the fact that Dragonbane's just like, yo, you don't roll until you need it. Yes, Star Drew. Adam Smart going on the corner and sneaking. That was fucking genius. And it worked. And there was no nonsense. None. So it's super fun. And this is the first time we've used NPCs from Dragonbane. I usually use monsters. Digidice were not with us. It's true. But I love that this game is talking about rolling under and rolling damage as one. I think that's really cool. It says that any player can choose instead of build. Okay, here's what I want to know. And I don't know, Nick, if you've played this. Let me know in the comments if you've played, or in chat, if you've played Crown and Skull yet. It says, once play has begun, a player can work with the GM to customize equipment, spells, spell casting, and other character-facing options, descriptions, and a list of customizations. Options are included for a great start. After about 20 sessions, each PC must choose the path of Crown or Skull to unlock new skill and equipment options following what is basically law or chaos furthermore. PCs of Crown and Skull, PCs of Crown cannot take Skull options and vice versa. A year every other week play is likely to see PCs reaching end goals and becoming named NPCs in future campaigns that GM wants to run. Dude, I already do this for ETHAUNTIA. I have been doing this forever. I believe that your players' characters should become NPCs of your world that you're running. And I didn't know this, there's a lot of GMs that don't do it. They don't have their players' characters become something more. Are you kidding me? Why in the hell would you not? Why would you not have your characters become legendary pieces in it? It's such a good idea. I love it so much. Even in Living ETHAUNTIA, when you retire your character, if you have at least a skill level of 18 and something, you retire your character, they become an NPC in Merrifield. That's how it goes. Like, I want to play a different character. I'm going to retire them. They're going to be part of Merrifield. What do they do in Merrifield? Oh, they provide training for this. Or, oh, they own this shop. It just lets you have that character there to do stuff. It's such a fun way to let players remember their experiences. The fact that more GMs don't do it is weird to me. You should be doing it. You should be making your PCs into legends. A lot of people don't know this, but all of the spells that you've seen in D&D over the years, from Melth to Tensors to Tasha, those were players. Mordekainen, those are players. That is why those spells are named that. They are immortalized in paper, that now those character spells are part of the game. You should be doing the same thing with your home games. And you should be sharing those experiences and helping other GMs be better at what they do and other tables be better at what they do. But yeah, that's really fucking cool. Compelling living world. The PCs pick one of 3 locations to start the campaign, and by choosing a settlement near a forest, mountain, or river, or desert, each location incurs different lineages, including frog folk, other different possible foes and NPCs. Do you think this guy was a fan of Chrono Trigger? He'll be a Gary Con. I want to sit down and talk to him at Gary Con. I'm curious to see if that's what it is. The GM is provided with dozens of pages and locations, dungeons, and monsters to fill the world with PCs. What PCs are exploring. The hex crawl part of the game, along with dungeons and other adventure locations. He also did a really cool version of Dungeonless Dungeons. It's a pretty cool read if you ever look up what that is. So you can pick up Crown and Skull. There's a free version of it. I will put this link in the chat, and I'll also put it down low. But this is the free version of it for anyone who is interested in checking it out. It is, by the way, I should probably state this. It is written like a book. It is not written like a TTRPG. It is clean, edges, forward, it's writing. And it is written like a novel. It's really fun. Super player focus, 2-page spread style. I haven't read this yet. Nick, have you read through it? Does it feel good to read? Because this is very different than your traditional tabletop RPG game. Like, if we scroll through this, there's not a lot of art. You know what I mean? Like, this is different than normal. Do you find this enjoyable to read? Because I feel like a lot of people aren't into this style. At least that's my opinion. I mean, what do you guys think? I think so. Pretty cool, though. So I'm interested in this. I think this is cool. So that's the little write-up here. This was from EN World, for those who are wondering. So I'm excited about that. I thought it was fucking cool. Cubicle 7, information on them, stuff going on with Crown and Skull. I love this art. I really think Crown and Skull is a great piece. If you haven't checked out Runehammer Crown Hall status, we have a hefty supply ready for the table. It's all text. There's like no art. Nick, is there a difference between Volume 1 and Volume 2? Is there a difference? Is there more story? Like, that's the question. Like, it's not been answered well anywhere that I've looked up, is if Volume 1 and Volume 2 are actually different. I don't have the PDF for Volume 2. Like, I would love to pick these up. I really want I want the gray volume 1 and the gray volume 2. But is there a reason? What's the difference between volume 1 and volume 2? Is there a difference? Also, why is Crown and Skull volume 2 this? Is it really supposed to be gray? It's only $50 for the limited edition cover? What? Oh, okay. No, it's just the art that he has loaded. The digital edition bundle. $30. $30 for a bunch of words. I don't know, man. That digital edition better come with other things. Let's see what it has here. Volume 2 is here and ready to reserve. Right on schedule. Volume 1, the first printing, lying late January. Volume 2 features the same production materials, artists, page counts, and covers as Volume 1, but with cataclysmic new material for the Northholds campaign. This book is jam-packed with bone-crushing action, maps, adventures, player options, and monsters to expect from Runehammer. So what's different? 13 new dungeon-centric adventures with its own map, atlas, roll tables, enemies, and counters. Create gear with dungeon craft, learn dragon riding, and other new abilities, along with over 40 pages of new tables for people, equipment, and villages. 28 new illustrations from artists, 20 pages of GM tips, 20 new skills, 8 new core abilities, vast new roll tables. But is it the same game? I don't understand what the volume 2 is. I really wish it listed the differences. Like, I don't understand. Well, Nick, if you know what it is, I would love to hear, because I don't know what the difference is between these. Because if you look at volume 1, which is volume 1, 365 pages, what's the difference? There's no differences, right? And if we go back into here, it's just setting material. He really needs to explain that it's setting material. Because right here he says it's the same stuff. Jam-packed, where's it at? The first printing will arrive in late June, features the same production, materials, artist, page counts, and covers as volume 1, but the cataclysmic new material for your Hills campaign. It's just not... It's not a good sales pitch for volume 2. I assume it's more stuff. I wish it would have just said an expansion for information for the campaign. Because does volume 2... Let me back up. Do you need volume 1 to play volume 2? That's my question. Or is all of the character creation also in volume 2? Are you getting all those pages again? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it all the same character creation, all the same information, all the rules and mechanics, and then there's just new adventure stuff for volume 2? That's what I'm asking. Because I have a feeling he's trying to make standalone books. So if you want to play volume 2 about dragons, you just buy volume 2. You don't need volume 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what it sounds like. But I still am interested. I have the PDFs for the first one. I need to get the PDFs for the second one. But it looks good, dude. I love the logo. So anyway, while people are answering questions about that in chat, I'm going to close these things down. We have some stuff to go over today. So I talked about being a better gamer and how to be a better gamer and do things that make you, I was going to say desirable, but wanted at the table. There's something about how people play games and how they interact with other people that piss me off when I sit down at a table. And I feel like people need to learn how to actually be good as a player and as just a general gamer. You think you need both? Okay, thank you. I'm just curious if all the stat stuff's in there. So I'm going to pull up Canva. our best friend. We're going to do a little writing here today. I'm going to grab this page, and this page. And we're going to start a new one. We're going to be going over more than table etiquette. So let me actually, you know what? I'm just going to duplicate this. This will be fucking easier. I want to take notes on this because we're talking out loud, and I am going to record a section after we talk about this. And this is something I want an audience for, because just because I think I'm right doesn't mean I'm right. You know what I mean? So we're going to do info, color. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to do title. I want to help people not suck being a gamer. I really do. And it's hard to do because every table is different. And the thing that people need to remember is that every table is fucking different. If you think your table is special, and that your table is not like every other one, you're right to a point. But really, I feel like people need to understand that there are some common table etiquettes that you need. And I am tired of having to sit down at a table and not have people understand that there is table etiquette. That's what I'm here to do today. So call out box. I'm gonna pull us over to here. We're gonna move some stuff around and delete some stuff and do some fun stuff. This is the one I did for the Headless Knights. So we're just gonna put be a better, and then I'm going to shrink this together. Be a better gamer. Okay. I even matched today's show. I'll turn all this into green. These are our skull marks that we do for everything. I'm probably going to switch these over to the EFP one, the EFP logo, really quick. So, in chat, without being negative, what are the things you expect from your table? What is it you expect when you sit down that doesn't happen? What is it? I know mine are. But what is it for you that you expect to have happen when you sit down at the table? Because, man, I got some fucking things to say about it. We're going to list them out. That's why I'm asking. Table etiquette. Yeah. Again, that's what we're talking about. We'll do our list. Things you can do. Just common things. So, for me, the number one thing is be on time or let us know. That's number one. Be on time or let us know. I'm so sick of this. Why is it so difficult for someone to let you know if they're going to make it? Why? That shouldn't be a problem. I shouldn't be fighting over this shit. This should be a basic common sense piece. Am I wrong? So that's one. We're gonna put this on here in case we need it to work later. I'm just gonna set it here. I'm just gonna put title 2 again. And we'll see what we get through. I think there's a lot. Let us know. And I have some good ones that aren't negatives. Like, that's the one where I just get annoyed. Yes. Holy welcome, Todd. Have a passing knowledge of how your character works so you don't drag the game to a halt when everybody has to help you figure out your fucking turn. Yes, yes, know your character. Know your character. Know your rules. Know your character's rules. You don't have to be 100%. Just fucking actually look over it. Just look over it. Right? Read the book. Read combat. Read spells. Basically, an understanding of the game. A general understanding. I don't expect 100%. Now, before people get riled up and freak out about me talking about this stuff, let's set some ground rules. Here's our conversation zero. One, we're not talking about edge cases. We're not talking about the new person who comes. You know what? Fucking, we're going to start recording here right now. We're recording this live. Because I can already feel the salt. We're recording this. I can feel it building up. We're going. So let me get this. And I will just edit it heavily. We're going to do no vocals, deathcore, DMC free metal. We're going to get music going. I'm going to do my ad. Hey everybody, this is a recording from EFP Live, and it's about how do you become a better gamer. We're going to do this live. I'm going to be talking to the chat. This will be a slightly longer recording. I'll edit out some of it for you who are watching it afterwards, but I feel like I need to do this live as the process is coming out. And the reason is a lot of things are going to be said that people are going to get mad about. And if you're mad, you're probably defending yourself or someone you know. So, ground rules. We're not talking about edge cases here. We're not talking about the first person to sit down that's ever played a game before that's learning. We're not talking about being in a convention, although there are some convention rules of being a better gamer. We're not talking about your first time GMing. We can tell you how to be better at that and help you get ready. We're not talking about that stuff. We're talking about people who play together, who sit down at a table, have opted into a hobby together to have fun. But there's some things you need to do when you sit down at the table. And if you don't do them, you are doing a disservice to everyone at the table, including yourself. I am a forever GM. I barely get to play. We talked about this earlier on stream. But there are some things that I really wish people understood, or maybe they forget. We all have bad days. We all have things happen. But there's just some things that you can do to not cause these problems. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's go over some things. We're going to do it live over in Canva. We're just going to get our notes together, our thoughts together, and make something that maybe we can keep for ourselves as a guide on how to just be better at what we do. Okay? This is going to be done live. All right? And then maybe I'll edit it. We'll see. So chat's already started talking about things. I have Canva up right now. This is a copy from something else that I've made. We're just using this as a template. We'll fill it out. I'll make it look good by the end, and maybe I'll put it down below for people to download just to kind of hand out to their players. But right now, I just want to get ideas together, right? Ideas together. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has problems. My goal is not to point out people's flaws and problems. It's the shit you can control when you sit down at the table. So we already started talking a little bit, and I immediately decided I'm going to record this instead of talking about it all and then recording a second one. For example, for me, be on time or let us know you're going to be late. Not a big deal. It's worse in person. People who are late to a virtual game is odd to me because computer, you log in. But even if you're running a few minutes behind, be like, hey, I'm going to be like 5 minutes late. No big deal. GMs and players can go through, they can do some notes and get things ready. But if you're not going to make it, let the GM know beforehand. The GM has to do a lot of prep when you have, say, 5 players. And especially if you're the main focus of the story for that evening, and you may not even know. The GM may have a surprise for you or something like that. It's just important to communicate with at least the GM, but specifically the table. Someone in chat also talked about know your character's rules. I can't agree more, Bleak. If you have been playing for a while, or you made the character, it's not a pre-gen, you made the character, you're sitting down to play a game. Know your character. Know what they can roughly do. Know how their stuff works. Take notes. Write some stuff down. I'm a firm believer in writing down page numbers within the book so you know where things come from. I also think that character sheets should have a spot for page numbers. That's one of the best things that Beadle and Grimm did when they did their big PF2 character sheet booklets. They have a spot to put their page numbers and what book they're from, what source. It's so good. So good. I think it's important. I also think to read the book, read combat, read spells, have a general understanding of the game. Super important. If you don't have a general understanding of the game, you can't play the game. You're doing a disservice to everybody else who's there. You have to have that. So what I want to do is I want to go to chat. Chat is talking a ton about different things. And I'm only going to be picking the stuff that makes sense for this. We're not gonna pick all of the problems, but we're gonna go through the ones that make sense. Shade goes elsewhere. So here's the deal. This isn't shade. This is general things you can do to be better, and I think it works for everybody, right? People paying attention to the game is a big one. I agree with this. Never ran a game for me, but when people aren't paying attention, or GM started to impose a timer on players to make their decision because they take too much time on their turns. GMs use that as a toolkit to move the thing forward. I am a big component and proprietor of the GM controls the table. Our job is to arbitrate not just the story with you, to facilitate all the things that aren't players, like player characters, but to facilitate the table running smooth. We are facilitators. We are storytellers that are there to tell a combined story with the players. I do believe that. I'm not a railroady GM. I like to give options. I love when players kind of go out of bounds and think of creative things to do. But our job as a GM is to keep things on track. So when a timer is employed, sometimes bad, sometimes good, it's to build tension. Like for me, if I'm doing it, it's just to build a tension piece. But if it's to do, because players aren't paying attention, I would like to remind a lot of people that back in the day, when GMing started, you skipped players. Gary and Arneson and a bunch of other people would downright skip players. They would skip them. They would just say, hey, you're not ready, I'm skipping you, you can go next round. And that's why combat used to be faster than it is today. They would skip those people and move on to the next. So, I do agree. Pay attention. Pay attention. Be present. I think that's just general life knowledge. Be present. And I don't need all of the problems that people have. Everyone has problems. And everyone learns to cope and be present in different ways. But be present at the game. Pay attention. I've had many tables where I've had people playing phone games while we're playing at home. And look, if the group is agreed that that is okay, cool. But me as a GM, I don't want that. I don't want you playing phone games while we're trying to play a game. Just pay attention to the game and be a part of the game. Be ready for your turn. Because that person who's playing the game, every time I come back to them, they're never ready. Never. Not once. They always skip. You know what I mean? It's not fun. I see a lot of things in chats about ADHD players and stuff like that. And like, look, everyone has problems. Everyone has hurdles that they have to jump. But you have agreed to come to the table to play a game with people. And if you have ways to cope with the things that stop you from being able to focus, you know what they are. Let the GM know. Be like, hey, if I'm drawing, it's just to focus me in. That's fine. But not being present at the table by playing, Scrabble with friends with the person across from the table, like, it's different if we have a cut scene and, the party is divided. That's different. People pull out and do stuff. But really, during that time frame, you should be updating your character. You should be looking over your spells. You should be ready when the GM comes back to you with the camera focus. You need to be present in the game and be ready when it's your turn. And a GM should be also ready. Sitting down at a table and a GM isn't ready to run or they didn't bring their gear, or they don't have anything set up. Like a new game, again, edge cases don't count. We're not talking about situations where it's a new game and you got to take down all the hit points and stuff like that from people. But you sit down and they haven't read the adventure. If they're running a pre-written adventure, they haven't read it, but they're going to run it. Why are you running it? Why are you running pre-written games if you're not reading them? So a GM also falls under this. Read the book. Read your adventure. Know what's going on. Know what's going on. No holding secrets when a player isn't there. I don't agree with that. I love secrets in games. I think secrets between characters, if you have a group that is ready for secrets in a game, if it's not about that character or screwing that character over, secrets are great. They can build tension. They can build things. If the secret is making fun of the person who's missing, that's just people being dicks. That's just etiquette about being a human. But secrets in games are prominent. My games that I run online, there are plenty of secrets in my games. And my players always, the thing you have to teach them is to release those secrets over time and to release their character backgrounds over time. And then that stuff's important. You can't hold it all in or nothing ever happens. You know what I mean? Don't step on other players' toes. If someone on the table is naturally quiet, just start to speak up, let them talk. Yeah, that is possible. That is no, it's not possible. That's a very probable thing. That's something that happens a lot. That is also on the GM side. And other players at the table should be helping them. For me as a GM, if I have someone who's quiet at a table, and I've had a lot of quiet players. I've ran probably more convention games than most. When I have a quiet person at the table, I make sure I stop on them and I give them extra time. Because I already know the other people are going to take more time. So I'll stop with them and be like, what does your character do? Or I'll put them in a situation where they have to make a decision. Not a dilemma, but a decision. And make sure that they're involved in the game. And some players are just more voyeuristic in general. They like to watch and be involved. And that's their thing. They're not the role player. I don't pressure people to have voices or to dress up or to do any of those things as a facilitator at a table. To me, if that is your thing that makes you happy and it helps other people, awesome. And it helps you be better in the role, awesome. But like, you don't have to have a voice. There's a group of people. I just watched a gentleman who did a video about it where they do the unicorn horn when they're out of character because you look like an idiot and everyone knows that you're out of character. You do the unicorn horn. I wouldn't do that, but if you've watched LARPing has the hand on the chest for things when you're out of character, when you're talking out of character. Take your hand off so there's no confusion. It just helps for people who use their voice for both things. But their headspace is separated between their character and themselves. There are some signs like that you can do. But really, that comes down to your table. Oh my God, Nick. I was just going to put this down. It's in my list of things. Make a character that wants to adventure with the group. Don't hog the time. Those two are the worst things. I can forgive a lot, but I need you to participate with everyone. 100% need participation. I can't state that enough. I have a running joke of don't make Batman or Wolverine. I don't want them at my table. That's great for solo play. It's not great for group play. You know what I mean? So I am definitely going to put that on here. Make a character that wants to be with the group. That wants to adventure. That is beyond true. If you make characters that don't want to adventure, why are you there? Why are you there? Why are you at the table playing a game if that character you made doesn't want to adventure? Wouldn't you be better off making a character that doesn't want to adventure for a different game? Maybe for your solo games. And if you haven't played a solo game, maybe that's your jam. Maybe that's what you should be doing is solo gaming. If you don't want to adventure with other people and you just want to tell your own story, do it. I also have a feeling that if you made a character like that didn't want to be with other characters and didn't want to adventure and you play that solo game, you're going to get really bored really fast. It's a group thing. You got to be with the group. You got to want to play with the group. You can't just haphazardly decide that you want a character who never wants to adventure. Like, why are you playing that character? So true, Nick. I can't agree more. Make a character that wants to be the group, that wants to adventure. Great. That is 100% true. What else do we have in chat here? Oh, real estate. Ooh, spreading out with laptops, giant dice trays means they'll have less room. Yes, I just got reconnected. So there's a disconnect there. Sorry, everybody. I can't agree more with that. I can't agree more with that. So you see this at conventions a lot, but I think you see it at home games a lot more. With tablets, PCs, whatever you're bringing to play the game, you take up too much space when you have like 1,000 dice trays and everything else. And I bring a lot of stuff with me, but I really try to make a smaller footprint. I really do. This is also why I'm a big proponent of landscape character sheets, because they don't go as deep into the table. But I love that we're going to A5 size. I think that really helps a lot with taking up too much room at a table. But really, pencil, dice bag. But if you have a laptop with you or something, I would like to remind everybody, almost every PDF works on your phone. And while you're there, you could just have the PDF on your phone. I use Goodreader. You can use whatever you want. But I have almost everything I use on here. And like right now, I have been reading through Dragon Bait. And I have it on my phone because I can look things up. I can easily type in numbers. It has everything I need. You don't need more than this. If you keep your character digitally and you're playing in person, I would tell you to put it on your tablet or your phone in a way that's easier to use. At a table, you shouldn't, if you have a laptop out and it's covering everything, I would like to remind those people that screen, you're covering yourself from the rest of the group. You really are. As a GM, I don't even use screens that often. I usually have them laying face down so I can be more involved. Honestly, I don't like knocking it over to move things to the table. But make a small footprint. Don't take everything up. And now, these are some of the more negative ones. Oh, hygiene. I just see Nick said hygiene. Stores and cons, hygiene. Yeah, man. Take a shower. Take a bath. Take a bath pre-show. Take a shower. Before you game. We used to have a guy who used to work out all the time and come straight from working out to here. I'm like, they have a shower at your gym, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you should probably use that. But like, really, don't act like you don't know if your shit stinks. I think it's important to be clean. Now, I want to get into some less. These are like top of the mouth, like top of the brain, negative / bad things that people do. There are some things that I think people should do that people don't think about. And I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to put these in here. I'm just going to delete, actually, all of this. And we're going to put all these in here. And I want you to see what I have been writing down over the last day. Okay? So let's take a look at this. I'm going to bring us back over. There's a lot here, by the way. I have a lot. Some of these probably aren't going to fit. I'm going to grab some of these and move them over. Just so we have a little more space here. A little more space. So, look. These are all really good, but they are definitely on the more in-your-face side of gaming. Okay? Now hear me out. Help your GM track things. I think that the number one thing that GMs have to do is they have to multitask at a level that most people, or even if you don't believe in multitasking, they have to run a lot of things at the same time. You should be helping them track. You should be helping them come up with ideas or help them track monster hit points or move things at the table for them while they're running the story that you guys are telling them. Help your GM track stuff. It's super easy to do. It's something you can do just to ease the moments where the GM is trying to figure things out, especially if you have a new GM. And the way I recommend doing this is at the beginning of the game, ask your GM, especially if you are an experienced player or experienced GM at that table. Say, hey, is there anything I can track for you during the game that would help make this easier? Do you want me to track monster hit points, or do you want me to track initiative for everybody? Do you want me to move the miniatures for you so you don't have to reach over the screen? Is there anything I can do for you to make this easier? And that's it. Super simple stuff like that. Do you want me to take notes on player conditions? Do you want me to write down spell effects so we know all the spell effects? You could be that person that helps compute all of that stuff on the side to give the GM freedom to help run the best story possible with the group. Super simple. I, as a GM, I don't ask a lot of people to track things. I probably should, but I don't. I have people at my table who just do that stuff, that tell me conditions and spell effects that are going on. But having a designated kind of person to do that helps a ton. For fuck's sake, man. Help the players around you. If you're an experienced player that had played the class or the build that they're doing before, or you understand spells, when questions come out and you're in that initiative order, whatever initiative order is, help that player understand what they're doing. Maybe they did read it, but they're not 100% sure on how something works. Every game's mechanics are new. Everyone's skill level is different. We're not talking about that stuff because you should just know that as a person. Like, just take a second and step out and realize that everyone is at a different experience level at a table. So if you're experienced, you just ask that person, hey, do you want a hand with spells? I've played this before. I'd be happy to help you out. Super simple. We have that in our live games all the time. Diana right now is playing a new spellcaster in a system that's new to almost the entire cast. And spellcasting in it is different than normal. You have to spend your willpower points up front and you got to roll to cast. We're there for her because she hasn't played that before. Todd has played a lot of casters in Dragonbane. Well, I mean, I think it's mostly what he's played. And they're my favorite thing. So we're there to kind of help out. And there's a lot of people who've just never played a caster before, ever. So, something to think about. Let me slide this over so it's not in the dark here. As a GM, be ready and keep the game going. Don't sit and watch your players forever. You're being asked to be in control of the game. I've played a lot of games with a lot of GMs. Your job is to help keep the train moving, to make sure that it's going in the direction that you and the players have kind of agreed on to go. If it's a pre-written adventure, you're following the pre-written script. If people start going off the beaten path, it is okay for the GM to say, hey, just so you know, what you guys are doing is not part of this adventure. We can do it, but we're not going to be going through the adventure, the final version of it. We're not going to be going through it all if you go off the beaten path. Are you sure you want to do this? And that's a conversation you have to have. One, the players have to understand the GM is prepped for that pre-written adventure. Two, if you want to go off the beaten path, the GM's going to need time to prep that stuff. So maybe you say, can we finish this part of the adventure and I can prep that for next session? Or if it's near the end, you can pause and prep that piece saying, I'd still like to come back to the main adventure if everybody would like to. I've done a lot of work. Because what people don't understand is pre-written adventures are fucking work. They're homework. Some GMs love them. I am not one of them. I like to design things and make things. I don't like pre-written adventures because of that reason. But be mindful of what's going on. I think it's important to understand that you can't always go do what you want in a game where everybody is signed up to play it together. So other things you can do. Let's talk about them. We talked about this one already. Be present at the game and ready to go. Review your character or review your adventures. We talked about that as well. Don't wait till the last minute. Yeah, we are all busy, but not that busy. We do this for a release and to be involved, so be involved. When we sit down to play a tabletop game, we have entered a semi-written contract, honestly, with each other, that we're here to have fun and enjoy something to get away from all of this. Whatever this is for you. I don't need to know what that is, by the way. Just all of this. We're there to get away from it. You need an event for the day. Ask your GM if we can have some combat. If you want to have a good role-playing session, ask if you have role-playing. There's always a way to do it. A GM can kind of flex what they have planned. But never assume that the session is going to go exactly like you want it to go, unless you tell them. We're not mind readers as GMs, and GMs don't know what players want, and players don't know what GMs want. You got to You got to communicate a little bit there, everybody. Just basic line stuff. Nothing. We don't have to get deep and personal. This isn't therapy sessions. But just sit down and be present and be ready. That's all you got to do. Be involved. Be involved in however it is. And this is the one, for me, this point here is probably the point I think that is the most important. Out of all the stuff I typed today, when I was going through this, provide what you are good at the table. Look, everybody is skilled in something. You might be the person who loves to cook and you provide food. Maybe you should bring food. Have people pitch in money, cook for the group. Maybe you're the note taker and you can recap what happened last session for the group while your GM is prepping their notes. Maybe you're really good at audio and you can record the session and give people a highlighted version of that they can remember forever. Maybe you're the artist in the group and you're doing the character portraits or really cool sites that everyone can remember and you share it in your Discord channel. Maybe you're the mapper. I love a good cartographer in my group. As a cartographer, when I'm running a game, if GMs see a player mapping stuff, I get excited because it shows a level of vested interest. So maybe you're a mapper, you like your little doodles. I think it's great. Do that. Maybe you're really good at character sheets. You know how to build a character, you're good at optimizing, you can help a player through those things when they go to level up or get new skills. Maybe you're the miniature enthusiast. Maybe you have the 3D printer. Maybe you're the painter. And you're bringing minis to represent those characters. Not everybody has that skill or the confidence to do it. Pick the skill you have. And this is probably the number one statement that I can give you. Pick the thing that you are good at and bring it to the table. Alleviate some of the work for the other people in the shared hobby and show up. And most of all, you agreed to have fun. So have fun and pick up the book if you guys are going to be playing this for a while. You don't have to own them all, but own the one that's important to you, the PDF or the book. Support the people who are making the game that you're playing. Or otherwise, they go away. We're in a really strong indie game sessions right now where you can get things cheap. A $12 PDF isn't that expensive. Honestly, a $19 PDF isn't that expensive. And there's a lot of times group packages that you can get now when you're purchasing these things. But make sure you're picking up the thing. If it's going to be a long-term game and you guys have been playing it for a while, get the rules set. There's stuff on sale all the time. Drive-Thru RPG always has sales. Just support the people who are making it so they make more great stuff. But that's it for me. I want everyone to be a better gamer, and I really mean that. Just self-awareness goes so far when you sit down at a table, virtual or physical. But what you shouldn't be doing, showing up unprepared, smelling like shit, did not do your character sheet, aren't present at the table, knitting, playing games, worst off, fighting with everybody else at the table because your character doesn't want to be involved. And that's the same for the GM. When you sit down at the table, you are there to tell a story with a group. It's not always about you, Ray. Sometimes it's about everybody else. You gotta tell a story with the group. Don't wax poetic the whole time. Involve your players and make a great story together. I think there's a lot that you can learn from the old OSR days and how things like Shadow Dark and games like that are being written right now, where it's a sandbox style that's about adventure and exploring and learning and making the story as you go. While I like a good pre-written adventure to read, I think that the old style with new models of how to do it is a great way to play a game together. But that's it for me on EFP. I'll be back on the live here in just a second. I'm going to finish this piece up, make it look good, and I'll share it out. It's just going to be a one-pager of things to remember. Maybe I'll make checkboxes or something for it. But there's some things that you can do to be better at it. Just as a reminder, the sheet you hand out at the beginning of the game, it's like, yo, we're all in this contract together, sign here. Kind of joking, but not really. I don't need a session 0 all the time. What I need is people just to communicate and be ready to rock and roll. We just want to play games. Comment down below if there's other things that you ask people to be. Be positive, though. Don't be a negative Nancy about it. Be positive. What are things that people can do that maybe they're not aware of? To me, when I realized bringing your best skill to the table was the best thing you can do, and just to be present and read the rules, ask questions. Don't be afraid. We're all playing together as friends. Watch, listen, learn, read your fucking book. So, positive tip, talk to your fellow players, figure out, yeah, I had that on my list, that's why I didn't say that out front. 100% agree with you. Maybe lead to something fun. Yeah, it's true. I just want more fun stuff. I think I'm going to finish this up this afternoon. This probably take me like 30 minutes. I'm going to switch this to the green color that I was using for the show. I'll just use the same format that I have. I'm going to put stuff down here that's like checklists of shit that you can do. I'll change this to EFP. And I'll kind of clean up the verbiage here and put like a signing thing here. But I think I'm going to do that because I don't know, man. I feel like people miss the mark too fucking often. I'm going to do the green, though, for it, I think. And then I'm going to change all pink to green. Watch this, everybody. Boop. I'm going to do the same thing here. Excuse me, I'd like this to be green. Boop. Do the same thing again. Oops, I keep clicking it like a dumbass. And then we'll do the effects here. We'll go here. I am going to pick this green. I kind of like this pink outline in this one, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to make it a darker green. We're going to pick this green, go here. Go to about there. Then I'm going to copy that color. So I have it. A lot of times I'll add it, though, and I don't have to. I kind of like the green and pink. I think it looks kind of good together. I'm not going to lie. Oh, it's right here. I don't even have to do it. Perfect. So now we got this kind of set up. I can cut and paste it really quick. I want a boop completion. Yeah, right? A boop compilation. Boop. I just want to play games. I agree with you. I just want to play games. So I'll probably put this together as like a quick little one sheet for people. I don't know. Maybe it'll be helpful. Maybe people will be mad at me. Wouldn't be the first time people would be mad at me. I really would. Like, I think streaming has changed the way that I look at gaming in general. Like, my group shows up, we're ready to go, we play a game. I mean, I still, not waiting the last minute to get me your information would help a lot because there's a lot more prep that goes into a stream game, and groups get better. It's a new thing. I do my best not to get frustrated about it. I have to remind a lot, but to me, it's just easier to remind them than it is to be mad. Being mad isn't going to do anything about it. You know what I mean? This says corpse talk. I'm probably going to put EFP down the side. So we're just going to do this. I'm going to go EFP. I'm going to rotate it. I think I'm going to make this green. I think we're going to make the other part black, maybe? Yeah, I think black. I think we're going to make this black. And then we'll fade it. Just a touch. And I'll put this here. And then I'm going to stretch it out a touch. Leave that at 0. This is what I want. Just a touch. And then I'm probably going to make the background effect a little thicker. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll put EFP down here. Push this bitch to the background. Like so. So, like, I don't know, man. I feel like people can be better as a gamer in general. Be a better gamer. Maybe I'll do a yearly update on this. Things you can do. And you can kind of check it and be like, am I doing the right thing here? Do I need to upgrade how I'm treating people at table? Should I be better at doing X, Y, and Z? And you just do a fucking self-check-in, man. Like, this shit ain't rocket science. It really fucking isn't. But what do you do? You just try to be better. That's all you can do. So I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna relock that. I'm gonna go to positions, and I want to find this one. We're going to unlock it, and we're going to the position, and then we're going to arrange. I want to edit it, though. How come I can't edit this? Did I fuck something up? Oh, it's grouped. Aha! Ah, okay. So we're going to edit this one first, and then we're going to try to make this green. So their editing stuff has gotten really good here. on the blue side. I want it on the bright green. Slime green. All right. Done. I'll keep the glow effect. I like that. I think the contrast is fine. I don't need to do anything else for that. So we'll just do that. Close it. Right? I think I'm going to keep the purple. I like the purple tape pieces. I don't think there's any reason to change that. We're just going to do this. Group. Done. So now I got this nice acid green look for it. I'll redo the colors. I'll make some cool bullet points. Maybe I'll use the skulls again for the bullet points, or I'll use the EFP. We'll do a call-out box down here. But to me, everyone could be better at the table. Player and GM alike. And a lot of players forget what it's like to be a GM, or they've never done it. And a lot of GMs don't remember what it's like to be a player because they never get to play. So there's just things you can do. Like, I know I fuck up. I'm not perfect. But, like, you just have to look at the table and ask questions. And don't be afraid of feedback, as long as it's constructive. There's a lot of destructive criticism out there that just isn't fucking necessary to me. But yeah, that's kind of what I had for the day. I'm going to go through and fill some of this out. I'm going to give myself like another 15 minutes here. Kind of fill this out and clean it up a little bit. Chat with the audience. Is there anything else you guys can think of that we missed that I should have been putting on here? Like, I feel like this is a pretty good breakdown. Right? So I'm going to put here the ways to be a better gamer. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to move this up. Oh, man. I mean, I don't know if I want that kind of stuff in... Yeah, exactly, Allie. I'm not here to teach you to be a human. Yeah, I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to teach you to be a human. So I think please be on time. Please know your character's rules. Please know your character's rules if you built the character. Please know the... let me word this so it's more succinct. There you go. Read the book. Read combat. Read spells. General understanding of the game you're about to play. So I'm going to separate this. I'm just going to put general understanding here. You're about to play. I'm going to move be present. I think be present. Be on time. Let us know what's going on. I think be present can just be number one. Right? I think that's like the one everyone should do. Person. My character wants to be with the group. I'm going to put this in italics as well, I think. Italics. Italics. That wants to adventure. I'll tab this in. That wants to adventure. Take a shower for your game. Come on. For your game. Help your GM track things. So, should I break these out into segments? Aw, thank you, Allie. Thank you, GM. So I gotta say, I got really lucky. I got a whole bunch of good comments from unfortunately, Allie, you missed it, but our last session, a lot of people were really happy with that session of gaming. But yeah. I think that's pretty good. I'm wondering if I should divide this into common things, specific things, or players. So this should be everyone. Things everyone can do. So it should be everyone can do. And then we should have players can do, and then maybe a GMs can do, and then rearrange this between the three. You know what I mean? Aw, I try. Right? So try to make them as great as I can. I want a good experience with people watching and a great experience with people playing. Even when the audio is being a bitch, we don't know why. Like OBS today just canceled out and rebooted back in. No idea why. No idea. Didn't do anything different. There's nothing running. I'm barely using anything on the PC. So I think I should divide this between those. I think that's probably a good idea. So everyone, maybe the everyone's can do goes down here. Right? So we got can do. So be present, be on time. Please know the rules. So read the book, read combat, read spells. So let's. I'm gonna duplicate this page. That's what we're gonna do, just so I have another one to work with. And then we're just gonna cut this down to players. So that's not player. That is, this should be a GM one. So that's player. Don't wait till the last minute. Yeah, we're all busy. I think this is general. I think this is a everyone. This should be over here. Right? And then this should be here. On a slightly different note while I'm editing this stuff, how many people are excited for the new Monster Hunt? I am. I am so excited for the new Monster Hunter. Since I'm a kaiju fan, it looks so good. Provide what you're good at. I think this is a general. I think this is just a statement. I think this is this. I think this down here becomes this. In white. And in a bolder print. Personally. Where's my branding kit here? These branding kits are so fucking good, dude. EFP, is that the one? Nope, that's not it. That's Breachers EFP Live. Is this the one that I was using? This might be it. No, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. I forgot. I think I was using the Corpse Talk branding kit for this. Aw. Thank you, Allie. Serving Hands said it. Thank you, Serving Hands. I thought Allie was saying that. Where's my branding kit? A guy who works at a dude ranch. Thank you. I try. It's experience. Anyone can be a good GM. I wholeheartedly believe anyone who's got a story in their head can be a good GM. I really do mean that. There's no reason that people can't be. Don't ever sell yourself short on being able to be a good GM. You just gotta have a story and want to fucking do it, man. That's it. That's all there is to it. Dude, I've been loving doing these old school, like, extra capital letter pieces for my stuff lately. I don't know why, man. There's just something, like, it harkens back to the old fantasy days of, like, games and shit. I really dig them. I've been trying to find proper rules for how to use them and why and, like, what you should do when doing them, but I love those. I love them. There's just something about how they look. I'm going to bring all of this down a little bit. Oops. So, then we're going to bring this down as well. What's this? Product name? This doesn't matter. Goodbye. About there. And now we got this nice little gray piece, and this is here. I might pick a different font. We'll see. Provide what you were good at. Food, notes, audio recording, art, maps, character sheets, miniatures. Pick your skill and bring it to the table. Done. Right? So what else do we have here? Player. Don't wait till last minute. Be involved. This can go away because that is everyone. Done. Provide what you're good at. We put that as a footnote so they can go away from here. Help your GM track things. Okay. I think we cut this. This character wanting to play from Nick. This is, I think, a highly important piece. Right? So we're going to bold italics, and then we're going to give this that green. And we're going to do the same thing again. Bold italics and give this one the green. Right? Done. What else do we have? Is there any other player-facing stuff that we can put? Table space. If in person. If in person, don't take up the entire table. Bring only what you need to survive. I'm definitely quoting Spaceballs. There will be a Spaceballs image here. I always think about that. On here. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to select it all. We're going to paste. I'm going to put this in quotes. We need to find a good Spaceballs looking image that I can put here and make it look fun. This will be for all the nerds out there who know what Spaceballs is. You're welcome. Gotta have that here. Let's find a good Spaceballs. So we can find a good image of it. It's take only what you need to survive. Take. We're going to fix that quote. If she doesn't know what Spaceballs is, she's too young for you, bro. This has got to be the image. This is it. This is the one. That's the one. What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing? I'm gonna remove the background. Ready? We gotta color this, right? Duotone. Mint green. Do we duotone it like this? I think we do a different color, though. I think we have enough green on the page. What if we do, pink? Orange? Purple. Purple. We'll do purple. We're gonna do what does it say? Hey Drew. Drew's here? Hey Star Drew. Oh yeah, Star Drew's here. 4,000 pounds of concrete moved today. Where the fuck are you? Why were you moving 4,000 pounds of concrete? How many bodies are you burying? Princess? No, Rambo? Take home. Oh. For a company? For a friend? For your family? What the fuck? What reason? What's the reason? I need to tatter this bottom part, so I'm gonna get a frame. Let's look at frames here real quick. I want like a little bit of more of a torn edge on the bottom. Probably this one. This is pretty good. We'll go like this. Push it back. And then we'll... Look how fucking easy that is. And now we can take this EFP and scoot it up. Move this over. I might have to make it a little smaller. I kind of want this to be big, though. I kind of want it like that. And I kind of want this like this. And then we'll do this in a quote color. Let's grab... I'm gonna grab this pink. We'll use our pink then instead. Or no, we'll use our purple. And then we'll do a stroke. Oh, I just realized I didn't get the quotes. The quotes. Where's the quotes? Why is there no... Is it not showing the quote for some reason? That's weird. Did I fuck it up? That's so weird. It shows the quote here, but it doesn't show it here. I have to manually do it. I've never seen that before. It's like that font doesn't have a quote on the other side. Pick up rock, put rock down, pick up rock, put rock down. Yeah. Who needs a gym when you just go move rocks all day? I mean, that's how they used to get in shape. There we go. That's pretty good, right? We'll have to move this around a little bit. But I think once we do the GM one and the players one, that we'll be pretty good. Is the hair dryers and solar powered? Dude, so I'm watching a bunch of stuff right now for another job. And the first thing I realized is they have all this super, super high-tech shit. And granted, this thing is made in the 80s. But they have all this alien tech. All this alien tech. Every phone is corded. They have like fucking starfighters that turn into mecha and shit. But every phone is corded. What? It's just that, like, you can tell it's the 80s. They have these far future ideas, but no one thought about the things like wireless phones and stuff like that. It just makes me laugh. They have vending machines that roll around to bring drinks to you and talk, but they don't have wireless phones. I was laughing so hard, man. Unguarded? That doesn't make me feel... Now, the way you said that sounds wrong. So we got, all right, so be present, be on time, please know the rules, read the book, read combat, general understanding of the game you want to play, make character wants to be part of the group. This can go away, because that's in the player section now. Take a shower before you game. Don't wait till the last minute. Let me see if I can get this to edit this right. Yeah, we're all busy. Okay. Be involved. This should be bold, italics. Actually, I think I'm even gonna You know what? I'm actually going to cut it. And then I'm going to do another text. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Put it down to, I want to say 18. And we're going to bring it here. Go like this. And then we're going to put this in our green. I think we're going to give it a stroke too. I like the lift stroke on it. It adds a little bit of what's missing. Boom. All right, so we got that. So be involved. I kind of want to use the skulls. I'm really tempted to. So that's all the everyone. That's the player one, and then we need the GM one. I'd like to fit this on one page. I don't know if we can, but I'm going to try. I'm going to slide this up. I just want to select this. I'm going to bring this to the front. Hold on a minute. I'm going to send this backwards. There. I think this is going to need a stroke if it will let me. Because of where it is. I want to stroke it all. That means this is going to have to be separate. Sometimes that be how it is. What size is this? 12. I'm going to bold, italics, green, effects, outline, outline, pump it up a touch. Now it at least should line up with it. Works for me. And then we'll move this up like so. And I think I'm going to move this in so it's not covering that. And then I don't know what is on here. I don't want the effect anymore. Yeah, I did the outline. None. Okay. But I will bold it. Right? Now the question is, can we fit the GM one here? You know what I mean? I bet you if we squeeze this down some, because it doesn't need to be this big. I bet you if we put this down to 16, right? And grab these, we're just going to group them. Bring it down a little bit. And I think we can take this and shove it down more. And then we can take this and bring it up to here. And then I think we can copy this, paste it, bring it down. And then we can do GM. GM. And then we can find our GM stuff and put it in here. And hopefully we can fit it all on one page. You know what I mean? What are you guys talking about in here? Sorry, I was deep into the fucking design. Mental note. Find out if larger rocks are cheaper than gym membership. Sure, you're going to need a pair of gloves, though. Trust me as someone who did masonry work. I like a good color choice. Thanks, Slit. Star Drew, in the future, nothing works. Also true, we're in that future. Even in the future, nothing works. There are several unguarded rock quarries. I don't know why there is. As someone who played through the quarry last week, I think I'm going to avoid those. I still haven't played that game. I've heard it's fucking good. Listen, audio sounds better. Hoarded. Lol. And skulls. I do like me some skulls. I think I can fit this on one. We just need our GM notes. Right? Like, what do we need here? You played it too, Slit? I haven't played it yet. So we have GM ones. What is good? Okay. Let's grab this. We're going to fucking cut this down. GM. As a GM. So GM, control the table. Control the table. Control the pace. Control the pace of the game. Read your adventure. Read your adventure or notes. Or notes. Adventure / notes, I'll say. So we can fit it on one line. Okay? What else do we have here? General. What else can a GM do? As a GM, what do I want GMs to do that I get pissed when I do sit down at a game as a GM? Make sure to give everyone time. Move the spotlight. Give everyone airtime. Traumatize your players. Frankhouse Dilemmas. Slit, you got to play in one of the biggest Frankhouse Dilemma games I've ran in a long time. Last Monday's was like deep Frankhouse Dilemmas. Just stacks of them. Stacks of them. Like the most. You guys got so many in that. Like Todd, I feel like there was more in that session than there has been in almost any other game. Right? Am I wrong? Like that's some of the most amount of fucking Frankhouse Dilemmas I've handed out in a decade. Can you think of any other ones? Dude, I'm here for it. More than Allie gets per session. Yeah, I thought so. Impossible. Allie, you can go watch the rest of that episode. I don't railroad. I don't. I let him play. So here's the thing. There is a secret to GMing that I talk to other GMs about. I actually don't share the secret sauce publicly. I believe a GM's job is to have an outline of what you want to accomplish. Know those key things that have to happen. And then you have checkboxes and you mark them as they happen. And I draw lines between things so I know where they've been. And I circle things that are important. But really, the job of a GM is call and response. But GMs have it wrong. GMs think they're the call and the players are the response. I believe I set a picture together that everyone's looking at, and you're the call and I'm the response. And the only time I send a call out is when I am grounding or setting pacing. But besides pacing notes, it's players call and I respond. That is how I GM. And it's a magical change in running a show or running a game because you are giving the players what they want with what you want. You already know what you want to have happen. Your job is just to put those pieces in place. And this puzzle doesn't have one defined spot for a puzzle piece to go in. It's a very flexible puzzle. So I believe that I put that out and then we get the show started. I give my calls out. I let the players play. I give responses, but my responses are things that I need to have happen and set out. Like, it's how you run a good mystery. You can't hide a clue in a drawer and expect your players to find it. They don't do the entire game. That means you just didn't give them something that they needed. Like, this, like, random perception checks for no reason. When I call for an awareness check or a perception check in a game, it's because I have something that could cause combat or cause conflict, and I need to see if the players notice it before I bring it to the table. No matter what, it's coming to the fucking table. But I never have an awareness check for a secret door that I need them to find. I'll have them find it. Now, that awareness roll or that perception check might be to notice a trap, but it's never to notice the door. It's just not. If I want you to find that stuff, why the fuck would I hide it hide it behind a random roll? The random rolls are to tell the story as we go along. So, I believe call and response, and I believe a lot of times the GM, you should be responding. That is my belief. You set the tone, you play in your sandbox, and then when you need to repace things and re-put things back into the picture, back into frame. I don't say railroad, because I believe we're painting a picture, we're not going in a line. When I have to redo that, I will then do a new call and response to get the players re-interacted, or if we're changing scenes. And I don't think GMs put it in perspective, and I don't think books put it in perspective for you well enough. They always talk about beats and notes and how you're going to do it and that kind of shit. That only matters some. What really fucking matters is that you are listening and doing things with your players. And you have to have notes. Thanks, Slit. I try. I really do want a co-op story. And I will say Blades in the Dark changed my perspective on how to run games. And I say that every time, and I stand by it. And honestly, Mythic Bastion Lands is starting to add more to that puzzle for me. It's starting to make things even more clear on how I GM. The thing I have noticed over all of the years, and this is a true statement, GM books suck. There is very rarely a good book on how to GM. There is. They just suck. The new 2024 DMG is very good. I do believe that the Tales of the Valiant one for 5e is better. I think the best book for it, though, is Blades in the Dark, Shadow Dark. I'm trying to think of other ones that I really think teach you how to tell a story and run a game, a collaborative game, because you're not even just writing a story, you're giving the tools to make yourself a better GM. There's another segment that I want to do that I'm working on in the background that's a little more bullet point, like gotta go through it. But I really want to talk about how GM manuals are made, what I've learned from them, and what's bad and what's good. I also want to talk about collaborative storytelling and how I think that is actually what tabletop RPGs are. And I think that old school games taught that really well through experience, not through, they were very bad in the book. But they taught you, like, West March style play was about players doing what they want. And I've tried running West Marches a few times. If Raven was here, he played in my West Marches Numenera. I loved running that. I think, Todd, you played in the West Marches Numenera a little bit too, right? I love the players picking what they wanted to do. I thought it was really fucking fun. And I love that they get to decide, like, what's going to happen. What's the new thing we're going to go do? But it takes players that have initiative. And I don't mean rolling initiative, but like, we want to go investigate this place. This is what we want to do. And the GM preps that. It's really call and respond. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen enough. It really doesn't. So I would love to have more of that in it. I think it would be a really fun way to do a new video. I would like to talk to people about how I see running tabletop games. I really do. Kings of Dirt Bike game was fun. What's that? I don't know what that is, Star Trek. What's Kings of Dirt Bike? No, Kings of Dirt, that was his show he did back on Dragons and Things. I got to play on that once, I think. What is that? You got a link? You put it up in Discord for us? If you're into it. I don't even know if you're in our Discord, Star Drew. So I do have one more thing before I go. I did play in that. Scheduling eliminator with GMs. I mean, yeah. What? So it didn't last. It lasted a year, and I ran 37 sessions, Todd, in Numenera, West Marches. 37 sessions I ran. I think Drill ran 6, and then Raven might have ran 1. I think Kelly ran 2. 37, though. I thought that was a pretty good number. Tales all the time. It's true. It's true. It's hard to get a West Marches done. Sean from Gaming and BS has tried to do it, and it did not turn out well. People just kind of bounce and shit like that. Huh. Allie, I read your Discord message. Thank you. So, anyway. Super fun. Great show today, everybody. We're at 6 o'clock. That's my cutoff. But, before we leave, I have something. So, we are talking about doing a bunch of merch. If you are over in our Discord, we're trying to make, like, some fun memes. All that stuff in the memes section on our Discord, under General. I'm going to be making into cards so that people can have fun cards to play during the show and packs and stuff like that. But we have been talking a lot about making new merch. And Allie went ahead and decided to make us new merch. And so that means we have Serving Hands Pizza is shirts. I'm going to be putting them up today, getting them ready to go. I wanted to at least show off her art for everybody so they can see the Pizza. Yes, that is our take on Little Caesars and a Plague Doctor mask. You can see that he is holding a sign that says DC-13 and a die that has the DC for it. It's all done in that style of Little Caesars. We're going to do 3 colored shirts. We're doing the dusty gray, this khaki, this gray, and the blue for Pizzas. So I'm going to be putting those together, putting them up over tonight and tomorrow. I think I'm probably going to do stickers for it as well because I feel like it deserves a sticker. And I might look at some other things on there and get them together. This will all go up over on the merch site for EFP. People were asking about patches and how you get them. They're over on Erik Frankhouse Presents. Serving Hands, I owe you your other patch since they got mailed back to me. I will do that and mail it back out this week. She bought a second one because she figured she needed to patch people more than once. But if you don't have a patch, pick one up while we have them. I won't be doing another run of this design. Once they're out, I have a new design that will have a different stake on the bottom of it that kind of symbolize the next patch of that. But that is the EFP lantern. That's the war lantern that people carry. It's a fighting weapon in Dragonbane. But yeah, we want to do more fun merch for people to pick up and have things. So this is the Pizza. I have 2 more in progress. I think I'm going to make this into a beer koozie as well. It's your third. Oh, your third. I'm probably going to do beer koozie, and I'm probably going to do stickers. Would people want mugs of Pizza? Like, I haven't looked at printful mugs lately. Allie, have you looked at printful mugs lately? Are they any good? Yeah, the shirt's great. Allie did a great job. I haven't looked at them. Let's bring this over here. Let's look at mug. We got a latte mug now. That's new. I like these enamel mugs. I like this. These are kind of nice. I didn't know they made enamel mugs now. I dig the enamel mugs. Those are really cool. Thanks for dancing with it, lady. Let me go back to mugs here. We'll just kind of look through what there is. I don't care for these. I've tried them a couple times. They're okay, but we got colors now, so this might be a good way to do it. like this. This might not be a bad way to do it on these. Those are kind of nice. What else is there? I like the enamel ones because they take an ass kicking. So this is an enamel mug. Oh, that's recently viewed. They got the black ones. They got tumblers. They do have the new tumbler. The big tumblers. This might not be bad. The new Stanley tumblers. The enamel mugs are usually lined. So these are kind of nice tumblers. They're big. They look like the Stanley ones. So that might not be bad. There's a fucking 40 ounce. Well, full color CMYK, I guess. What are you talking about? If what's the one color? If the mugs are? Is that what you're saying, Allie? So I might do a tumbler as well. That's something else I'm looking at. Kind of cool looking, man. I want a beanie. I gotta make some beanies. I'll make an EFP one here pretty soon. I like this style. Allie said these knit ones are really nice. They have some decent colors. I like this orange. This is pretty close to something I would want for colors, and it's fucking winter here. But I want to embroider this with the E logo. There's a bunch of stuff there that I want to make. So Meets and Beats is going to come out, and then they have the koozies now, which is new. Which is so weird that they just got koozies. What are they called? Is it beer koozie? Drink koozie? Probably drink. What is it called? Do they not call them koozies? They call them sleeves? Huh. Well, what are they fucking under? I know I've seen them. I tried sleeve. Is it can coolers? Okay, let's try that. Can cooler. So these are going to be the ones we're making for all the sleeve ones, and they're all over prints. So I think this is gonna have the hyperlink drink ones. So Meets a Beats hyperlink drink on the back. The Crash Milk hyperlink drink, the ETHAUNTIA hyperlink drink, and the Tumbler sublimation. Yes, yeah, I just looked at that too. And I think making deals with the devil hyperlink drink. And koozie is a brand name. Todd, you are 100% right. So they're pretty cost effective for me to get made. I'm going to look at this. I'm not part of Printful Growth yet because we just don't sell enough merch to do it. I just like having it here for people in case, you know, suddenly we blow up or something great happens. The merch is already here. If you haven't checked it out, the ETHAUNTIA site is here for those who are interested. We still have our Secret shirts. Those are up. The tumblers here. Secret is Malort. We have our Secret shirt that lets you get into Secret after show for those who've not done that yet. Frankhouse Dilemmas, the shirts, the whole line from Todd. Instead of taking them down, I left them up, which is like the Merrifield crew shirt. We have our Dragon Lance stickers, and then the numbered ones of the patches. There's not a ton left. Like, you can't really pick anymore, but there are some lower level ones that are similar that are still out there. And that's what the patch looks like. So these are all here. They're just a stamp sent in an envelope. Super clean. These get sent separately, by the way, because I'm the one sending these. I'm manually doing them. They're not print on demand. I have them. So it says 1 ETHAUNTIA hero point. Basically, any game, it's just a reroll. And I've just decided it's for all shows. So those are all things that come sealed. They're hand-drawn and hand-numbered. They're stuck to the piece if you don't have one yet. That allows you to have a reroll. Also, if you play in any of my games, that'll give you a free reroll in whatever game we're playing. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you have that. If you play in Living ETHAUNTIA, it does the same thing. So, yeah, if you go to Shop All, there's a ton. I need to change this to not Switch or Twitch. But there's a couple categories. I think there's this. The dice boxes, unfortunately, are all gone because Riddles doesn't do them anymore. This is the Season 1 patch. We do have prints. We have the art from Todd. We have the stickers I've done. The logos I did for these. This is the ETHAUNTIA homage to Nightmare on Elm Street with the original cast. So these are still up. I need to get one of these because I want one for the wall. I really hope they end up doing metal prints here eventually, because I'd like to get it on one of these. So I might go to disc plates and see if I can get it printed on a disc plate, because I would love to have this as one of those ones I can just stick and trade out. But they don't do disc plates here, so I might check and see if I can get that done. And then what else do we have on here? Where's all the shirts? All items. Let me go to page 2. Yeah, there's ways to get them done. Yeah, here we go. So we still got the Nora Tenwick investigations from Todd. Tenwick investigations. We have that comes in women's and men's. Let me just go to the apparel. So there's that. There's Everston. There's the Lillian Foxglove, the Merrifield, the ETHAUNTIA hat, the Nora flip-flops. I actually saw somebody wearing these Nora flip-flops at Gen Con. I'm not even fucking kidding me. It was fucking hilarious. And then we got the Frankhouse Dilemma shirts. So all those are up. The price of shirts are just high right now. I apologize. But for me to do shipping and everything, they have to be. It's fucking ridiculous right now. To make anything off of them because of shipping. It does. It baffles me that 69 is still there too. Like, I really thought that that patch would go away. You had to explain your Tenwick shirt to your dad? Aw. Tenwick Investigation, man. She's the real Sherlock. Season 1 patches. I think that's most of the ones that are left right there. I don't think they're all available anymore. Let me try. Yeah, I think those are the numbers that are left right now. A lot of them have been picked up. But there's also just patches by itself. If you just want the patch, there is also just the patch. If you go to home here, I think I have the patches by themselves, where you can just get a patch now, and it doesn't come with the reroll. It's just a patch. Because they were sitting next to their shoes. They were getting ready to go into the gym at the hotel, and they were taking their shoes off and putting their flip-flops on, and they were the Nora fucking flip-flops. It's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, let me know if it worked, Star Drew. I fixed it. If it doesn't work, you let me know which ones you want, and we can just do it through PayPal. And I'll just send them to you. Because if the site's causing a problem, it's because Square is and I have to pick individual districts. Because you're in Canada, aren't you? We'll have to figure out what shipping to Canada is, because it's just mail. It's nothing special. It's also become my shirt I wear to put the big X on the Christmas tree up. Okay. That's fucking adorable. But yeah, she was the guy was coming down into. Oh no, it wasn't. I apologize. It wasn't Gen Con. It was Gamehole Con. And I went down to the gym to fill my water bottle because that's where you could fill. And there was a guy sitting there putting his gym shoes on with Nora flippy floppies, and I just smiled and walked. Like, I mean, I don't know, man. You never thought you'd see that shit in the wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. Like when I started seeing all my Iron GM shirts everywhere, which is, by the way, because of my OneDrive debacle, I mean, debacle. I found all of my Iron GM shirts that I did back in the day. Let me see if I can find it here. Iron GM. I did a lot of shirts for Iron GM over the years. So I did a lot of Iron GM shirts. So the 2016 shirt. This is the front. This was the back. And it has all the previous winners. So it looked like arrows going through. Like it'd been shot. This is probably one of the most popular shirts. The Gen Con Indie ones, I've done a bunch of those, but I think this is the PSD. I don't want that. I want the PNG. This is 2014. Oh, you can't see it. There we go. Where it's the axe, and that's why I have this skull axe. And then that's the back, and then it got all the names and prints on it, and it has the name of all the winners and shit like that. I think the 2016 was the shirt I was a huge fan of. I have to find a way to move all this stuff off of here. Because it's all on here, and I need to make room and move it on to something else. I usually use Dropbox. I used this originally because one of the gentlemen in my company worked for Microsoft, and we got unlimited Microsoft storage. So I was making these for quite a few years for them. Yeah, I need to move it all off. It's just going to take time. I'm going to do it on my week off. Yeah, I don't know if that's what it's going to be, though. I love this. My Element, Iron. This is probably one of my favorite shirts. And it has a circle around it. The final version did. That's probably one of my favorite shirts I did for them. So simple, so clean. I always try to use blood. I kept getting yelled at for using blood. Like every year, I got yelled at for using blood. Let me see if I have any other ones here. This was the first Total Com one. And then what else do we have here? Do I have any other? I had to do a Swaganomicon. The Swaganomicon I had to make, which was a bunch of free 2-page spread free PDFs and product codes of shit that you could get for free for showing up to Iron GM. This got printed and handed to every person. Had to do that. That was a long time ago. Yeah, man. There's good memories in here. Like, I got to find something to do with them all, but anyway. OneDrive fucked me, yes. So, that's it for us today. I'll look at getting the koozies up. The shirt will be up. I'll get this up here probably tonight or tomorrow. I have a birthday party tonight. I want to get this up so everyone will know. I'll put it in our Discord. If you aren't in our Discord, join. We have more Living ETHAUNTIA coming up. Our first week of March, I probably will have 2 games that first week of March. And then I will be at GaryCon this year. If you're going to be there, I am running games every day. I've decided this year, off-grid, I'm running 2 to 4 hour games every day. I'm going to be running Shadow Dark, Breachers and Shadow Dark. And then I'm going to be running, hopefully, Dragonbane ETHAUNTIA if I can get the characters done. If not, I would like to show people some Mythic Bastion lands. I have these things that I've been working on that I'm going to finish up this week. I started making my own custom map tiles. You may have seen these on Instagram. So I want to kind of finish these up. They're just cardboard chips, right? Different map tiles that can be drawn out and put on the table to make little maps. I want to finish these up so that we can get this done. And then I'm going to probably run some Mythic Bastion lands at GameholeCon, because I don't think a lot of people have played this before. So you can see like Grassland, Swamp. These have not been inked yet, obviously. These are just the raw colors. I really like the grasslands. I don't know why. They're just simple and clean. And then I am doing... I have cities and rivers I started drawing that I have to finish. You can kind of see them if I tip them. So those are the ones that are in process right now. They also have the little forts that'll be in there that I'm finishing up right now. And then, what else do I have? Hill lands. They have to be inked. I think I'm going to use a marker to ink them instead of brushing them, because I just think it would look cool. Like trees. I always love drawing trees. So all of these are kind of like going to be in a bag, and there'll be a random draw where you pull them out. And you make your little area we're going to adventure and play Mythic Bastion lands in. Making a character for Mythic Bastion lands is really fast. All the art's out. We're going to take a deeper look at Mythic Bastion lands probably next week, because I want to prep myself for it. We're going to be, tomorrow, I will be on during the day. We're going to be doing our first solo dark tomorrow with our Cyclopean side night. That's going to be tomorrow in the afternoon. No news, no nothing. We're just going. Unless something really big comes out news-wise, I'm launching it. 10 minutes of prep, and we're rocking and rolling, because I got to be out of the house to go to my meeting later that evening for the Game Masters for Dragon Sandbox. So tomorrow we're going to do that. Friday I'm off. I will be back Saturday for a long Rise and Design session. We're going to be going through, finishing up our... Hopefully finishing up our document for... Oh, I don't know. Do you guys want a little sneak peek of something? Hold on. So Breachers, I did a lot of work. I did a lot of work for Breachers here. So this is Breachers in Shadow Dark Volume 1. I'm really getting happy about this. We have our inside cover. Our legal will go here. This is the rough table of contents that I'm working on. They are going to be hyperlinked. So you'll be able to hyperlink and go to them. And then it'll hyperlink out in PDF, because you know my rules. Table of contents will go here. Our welcome sheet will go here. Those will go away, and it'll all be a welcome sheet. Our ancestries, our dungeon chef, and then I started making my custom artwork finally. So I spent a lot of hours making artwork. And I'm doing simple, like, two-tone colors for everything. So this is Pan, our dungeon chef golem, with his thing in front of him. He's got a belly furnace so he can light stuff with his big-ass ladle. I also started making the names because I was talking to Nick and I wanted names. So we have our lawful prep, friar, saucier, sous chef, and monsteteer. A butcher, a seasoner, a griller, a rotisserie, a rotisier, a pitmaster, a sprout, a saucer, a garde, a fungal knot, and a passier. Those are your different names for them. I'm going to go through and bring more orange into everything in this section. Your crawler book, I got to write some information out here. Your crawler gear, I got to make art for this. Our Lancer is the one I'm the most happy with. I've had the Lancer art for a while because I want to make a 3D mini of him eventually. I'd like to do it for all of them, but I don't have a 3D model for Pan yet. So I took the 3D model, I turned him into an Inkscape. This is Zagmar, our elf Lancer. You can kind of see his whole get up in the two-tone colors. I want real simple color palettes for this because I want it to print well. Your lawful is Boot, Pike, Dragoon, Slayer, Stormlance. The chaotic is Scale, Spear, Maul, Impaler, and Hellguard. And neutrals Horn, Talon, Halberdier, Ebon Claw, and Bergenfiend, which is like a bastion or a guard to the table. To a tower. We have our Lancer mounts that are all in here with new advanced Lancer mount combats. I want to make a new mount. I have an idea for a... I want to make a... I've been studying snails for something I have in mind for. And I want to make a snail caravan. I want to make like a wagon/travel snail for breachers because it can climb, it can move, it doesn't get tired, it eats anything, and it's a great dungeon wagon. So I'm going to make a quicker snail that can come with you. And I saw a group that made a battle snail that gets like upgrades. So I have an idea. I don't know if it'll go in here. It might go in the second volume, but that's something to start working on. All the Lancer stuff's here. Our Lancer mounts, our Axehead, our Glyph Griffin, our Gecko Drake, our Zatamal, which is Breacher's exclusive. And then the Lancer gear. I need to make art for this. Then we have our Psy Knight. I think this is going to be art. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I kind of want it to be like a brain or the training helm. I don't know yet. Or the side blades. I have to find something. But Wuklo, our Cyclopean Cyanite, his two-tone art as well. I'm going to kind of touch up this. I'm not happy with. I need to take it in. And I did this I drew it in Clip Studio, brought it over, and started coloring underneath it. Like if I move him, you can see all the colors underneath. But I'm going to color him in Clip Studio. And then you can see Page, Ego Squire, Psyguard, Ocular, Ego Knight, Demented, Cutter, Psycho Knife, Scanner, Id Knight, Anima, Cogni Warden, Neuroblade, Paragard, Cognite, which I think this last one or this one is going to change. I think it's just going to be Warden or Mind Warden or something like that. All the manifestations are here. I'm almost done with these. Once I finish them up, I'll realign everything so it's not such a blank page. I want to make a couple more. We have our side gear. This will just get rid of the color background. And then you can see this is color coded to match. We have our inside the settings for breachers and how it works. I rewrote all of this the other day to make it sound a little more to my style. I need to move everything in a little bit. I think there's going to be some print issues and cutoffs. But I do want some of it to get cut off on the page. It's important. But I have currently, if I go into settings and we do show margins, and we go into settings and we do show print bleed, we're all right. There's just a bleed section. I just want to move this all in a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to make the gutter smaller or if I'm going to scale the columns in a little bit. I haven't decided yet. I just don't want to lose this L. Really want this L to be like tucked in there and solid. So I'm going to go through all that in my final pass. I think I'm going to go with this color for major pages, which is like that glow in the dark green on black, because I love how this looks. So I'm probably going to do that. And then the Breachers Guild, the Breachers Talents, all the talents are in here that you get on even levels that you roll. I'm going to do Breacher backgrounds description here, new backgrounds for this district. And then the rest of this is just spot art, my door, and all that kind of stuff. So we're coming along. It's really close. I only maybe have like 8 pages left to do. A couple spot art pieces and we're good. I really like where it's going. I think the Breachers B is going to go here, or the gate into the main section that I decide I'm going to do. I got to do a map for the front and back cover. And then just formatting it and making sure it's perfect to go to print. But we're close, everybody. It's looking good. All done in Canva and Art and Clip Studio. I use next to no Photoshop for this project. So anyway, that's it for me, everybody. Longer session I wanted. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you tomorrow, 3:30, for our first solo dark with our Cyclopean Warrior. I can't wait. I think it's going to be fucking dope. Have a great night, everybody.